So I was the worst employee, but one thing is I never was without a job. To have 40 jobs, I knew how to land. So when I tell people, and even now, I also do consulting strategy sessions with business owners, and I can tell the ones that don't want to succeed as bad as they want to breathe.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Accountability on Demand podcast. It's your host, LaShawna West. We are on the Healing While Building series, and I have a special guest. Introduce yourself for the people.
Hey, my name is Tameshia Weaver, and I am the co-founder of Car Hops Delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there we focus on all things restaurant and catering delivery.
Nice.
In Middle Georgia, Atlanta, Dallas, and Charlotte. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just so everybody knows exactly what that is. So basically like a DoorDash, Uber Eats.
Right.
Nice.
So look, everybody's familiar with these on-demand apps.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is ordered to your door, right? Like, do you go grocery shopping or do you do...
I do Instacart as well, but a little bit of both, depending on how I feel.
Right. So, everybody likes that microwave.
So you guys do groceries too?
We do grocery shopping. We do...
Let's go.
We pick up your McDonald's. We pick up your steak. We do whatever.
Okay.
We will even pick up your car battery.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're definitely going to have her information in the link below. But this is the thing. This is the question I have for you, Tameshia, right?
All right, let's go.
I want to make sure I pronounce your name right.
Mm-hmm.
What made you start this?
Based on needs. So my partner and I moved back to our hometown. My grandmother was dealing with a sciatic nerve issue. And so I moved back to help her, and he moved back simultaneously to help his people.
Gotcha.
And so we both come from areas where food delivery was was everywhere. We had all the options, right? I was living in West Midtown before I moved, back home to Thomaston, and we just had so many options. Got there, started a marketing and branding company, and we were working 14, 15 hours a day. Didn't have time to stop and eat.
Right.
We're paying friends and family to go pick us up stuff, to cook, to do the things.
Yeah.
We had, deadlines and stuff that we needed to make.
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on me one day. I was like, you know what? There's no reason why a city the size of Thomaston, now it's about 30,000 people, but there's plenty of restaurants. Again, that's a good number of people you should have some type of food delivery.
Yeah.
And so I started looking at how to bring in DoorDash, how to bring in Grubhub, Uber Eats. And I ran across an article that said how to start your own food delivery service. And baby, it was up from there.
Wow. Was it easy?
It's still not easy. No.
How long you been doing it?
Since September 2019.
Okay, so
pre-pandemic.
I use my fingers. So going on 3 years.
Yes. Well, actually, it'd be 4 years in this September.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Mm-hmm. That's why I use my fingers, y'all. So how did you get started? You read an article, but you had to have some courage and bravery to be like, I'm going to be just like them or better. Because if you think about it, there's only a few. And now you're added to that list.
Right. So I'm not new to business. I actually started my first business when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
And so, I'm 40. I'm, going to ask people their age.
I'm 42 as well.
Baby, 40 Club.
Yes, ma'am. Black don't crack.
Fact. So look, I'm sure you remember the series, The Babysitting Club.
Yes.
Okay. So I fell in love with those books when I was a kid, and I saw myself in there, and I had a group of friends, and we were like, look, we need to go out here and get some money. So we established a full-fledged Babysitters Club. I had a marketing department at 12. Back then, our sales department would use the phone book and go through the white pages and go line by line. We knew what roads were near us.
I was not playing.
Baby.
I love it.
Right. So, fast forward, like I said, I've started several businesses. I've helped people start businesses. So I wasn't new to business.
Yeah.
As well as I have a 14-year career in the hotel industry, in the sales department and operations. So I just utilized all those skills, started Googling how to start a restaurant delivery service, found a company. Like, one thing I want to tell people too is 9 times out of 10, you don't have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
You could just make it better or make it your own. And
innovation.
So, right. And so there were already software and services out there who provided the technology that we needed. People think you need to start with $100,000 or $1 million to build an app.
Right.
Or girl, if I told you how much it took to start our company.
Because you guys have an app too, right?
We actually have 2 apps now. We have one for the catering delivery side, and we also have one for the on-demand side. That's the more DoorDash feel.
Gotcha. Was that a big investment to start the app?
I'm telling you, if I told you the number that it cost to start the company, which was less than $10,000, like all in.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. So it's clear that she's super motivated about what she does, but I got a question for you, because this is the Healing While Building podcast series, because we're on the Accountability on Demand podcast. But I know, just people of color, most of us start businesses from passion or pain, right? Something that we didn't get that we need, or something that we're super excited about that we want more of, that we want people to experience. So where did your passion for business, with the delivery service, the babysitting thing, everything, even hotel stuff, where does that stem from?
Well, it really started based on the fact that my mom was in the military. She was a single mom, had me at the age of 17. Okay. And then my dad, who was still present in my life, he passed away a few years ago, but he was still present. Girl, yes. But you know what? I get confirmations all the time that he is there with me. So I'm, and that he's doing more for me now than he could do for me back then. So that definitely helped heal, that healing process. But so he was an entrepreneur. He never worked for anybody. And so to see my mom being in the military, having to be up at a certain time, do this, do that, asked to go on vacation, all this kind of stuff, and then my dad just out here living free.
You've seen the best of both worlds, the best of the worlds,
right? And even though I saw him struggle a lot, and I'm glad I did, because in my journey, we also struggle. We're still struggling. So it just lets me know that I'm not the first, and I won't be the last, and I just have to keep going.
Most definitely. So I told you I'm from Kansas, but I was born in Germany. My dad was in the military.
Okay.
Yeah, so I totally understand.
Military brat.
Yep. We lived all over. Seen my dad rocking and rolling in the military. And then my mom, she kind of did her own thing, but nobody in my family was a entrepreneur, at least not in my immediate family, right? And so it has to take some tenacity, some determination, some bravery, especially how you pivoted from the marketing to the delivery services. Would you do it all over again if you had to?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Revenue.
Well, one, it was God's plan. And I'm going to tell you why. Because again, we started September 2019, prior to the pandemic. Yeah. I think everything pretty much started to shut down like that February, March of the next year. But we were one of the essential businesses. So we were able to print out these forms. All of our drivers, would keep this essential business letter form, basically letting the police know if they got stopped, I can be on the road because I am an essential business. Okay. And being able to keep restaurants in business, because the restaurants had to close their door, or they didn't have to close their door, they just couldn't serve people inside, right? And then for, just the majority of the customers, they couldn't leave their house unless they were going to work. So, like I said, it was perfect timing, divine timing, perfect timing. Like, it was just, yeah.
Yeah. How has it changed your ability to have work-life balance and not be overwhelmed, overworked, 14, 15 hours, not even being able to eat? Like, is it still a lot of hours and whatnot, or is it different kind of brain capacity?
Not yet. I am still wearing so many hats.
Yeah.
And I overhearing a conversation that you were having, and right before this, we were having a conversation that, being small business owners, we are our team until we're able to start bringing on people. And for me, I know, and I'm not sure about you, but for me, I know, like, I can go ahead and start bringing on a team and building a team. But it's a little bit of control issue right now.
For sure.
I like to do things. I'm very customer service focused, and I'm coming around to the point where I feel comfortable with being able to trust that somebody else will be able to take care of my baby like I'm taking care of it. But yeah, I mean, it was real.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I think that our resiliency and the things that we have went through in life enables us to be more effective and more bounce back entrepreneurs. Because think about it, if you had a silver spoon in your mouth, if you never really knew what it was to grind, to hustle, whatever, and then you're working on building a business, you're going to crumble fast because you got to have alligator skin in this thing called entrepreneurship. But when you have already kind of maneuvered through unfortunate times or even complex times, it's like, okay, what's next? Let's go.
Well, I also say too, when you want something, and for me, it's my freedom, right? I'm an Aquarius, so I was the worst type of employee. I've had over 40 jobs, and I'm only 40. Okay, that tells you a lot. So I was the worst employee. Yeah, but one thing is, I never was without a job. To have 40 jobs, I knew how to land. I knew how to sell myself, right? Yeah. So when I tell people, and even now, I also do consulting and strategy sessions with business owners. Yeah. And I can tell the ones that don't want to succeed as bad as they want to breathe.
Eric Thomas.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, girl. It's funny because he posted something on Threads and I seen that you liked it. So, yeah, I definitely rock with Eric Thomas. For sure.
I was actually just at a podcast summit because I have my own podcast, too. I got to get you on the show.
Nice.
But I was at a podcast summit in Miami with David Shins, and CJ, who's a part of his team, is there. And, that's one thing I always say, too. And that's what I think that's the biggest thing that I took from the podcast summit is I need to surround myself with people who know how to play their position.
That's good, right?
Because
there.
Eric Thomas is Eric Thomas.
He plays his position.
But CJ is the driving force behind that. And Eric Thomas will tell you that without
I've heard him say it several times.
Right. Yeah. And it's a whole crew of them.
Yeah.
And again, I need people around me who know how to play their position.
Yeah. So what position do you feel like you need?
Oh, well, there's a whole list of them. But
right. But I want you to think a little deeper. I don't want you to be like, oh, I need an admin, I need a social media marketer. No. Like, do you need a COO? Do you need a CEO when you just want to be the owner, right? Like, someone literally recently asked me to be the face of their brand, the CEO, and I understand it, and I'm building my own brand. So it's like I'm thinking through certain things. Is that for me? Because if I say yes, that takes me away from what I'm building.
Right.
Or if I say yes, it helps to enhance all of my expertise. So what role do you feel like you need?
The role that I feel like I need the most right now, I need two. I need an HR manager. Okay. Because we're getting ready to start expanding. And right now, I'm so hands-on, and my team, my drivers, they call me directly. And I'm so... Yeah. And I take care of them.
You need that buffer, that middle.
Right.
And that's literally what happened to me earlier today. I'm going to create some content about it. I was multitasking, and I'm really big on responding quickly. And this one bit me in the butt, right? But I'm grateful for it because it reminds me, Lashana, you're doing too much. You don't want to taint your brand. You don't want to taint your communication. You also don't want to make impulsive decisions because you want to be quick. Right. It doesn't always have to be like that.
Right.
Right? So... certain people should only have access to us.
Right.
Our energy, everything.
But it's a little, I'm in a weird space when it comes to that though, because that's why I don't have as high of a turnover as other people in my industry, right? So besides like the big three, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, there's about 400 smaller delivery services, right? That specialize in food delivery. Now, out of that 400, there's probably about a good 20 of us that look like me. So my long-term goal is to bring more people into the business that look like me. Because it's a very lucrative business if you do it right.
Yeah.
So because I am the way I am, and I'm a humanitarian at heart, my team know that I'm not going to ask them to do something that I wouldn't ask of myself.
Yeah.
or I wouldn't do it myself, they stick with me. I can't, there's nothing that I can't ask them to do that they don't do. But when I get on like calls with all these other restaurant delivery service owners, they're like, oh my God, my turnover this. And my team member cussed me out. And I'm like, oh, I don't have those problems. I do not have those problems. So that's kind of what, and I'm sure I can find the right person. I'm sure I will find the right person. But besides the HR person, the other one I definitely need, and you named it, is an operations manager.
Gotcha.
Because I'm a true salesperson. So I can go out there and get more restaurants. I can go out there and get the business. I love building those relationships. But when I get back to the office, I'm tired.
Right.
So the operations seem to,
that sales is a different kind of energy. But I wanted to backtrack a little bit to what you said about you're so awesome, you're so dope, your people ride for you. So now you got to lean into your leadership bag to where you train and inspire someone else to do exactly what you did.
Right.
Because you will become the bottleneck.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Right? Also, you got kids?
No.
Okay, you don't have kids. You have a significant other, though, right? And so, ring, 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 ring. At some point, you're not going to be able to. So, like you mentioned earlier about control.
Right.
I was there, too. And now I do have some team members, and I'm still hovering a little.
Okay.
But it goes from no help at all to getting help to training to stepping back a little bit, see how they're doing, giving feedback to where in a perfect world, they're doing so well. I'm just kind of looking and giving feedback intermittently, right? It's a process.
And I'm excited for the journey. You know, we're 4 years in. By the end of this year, I will have 2 additional team members. I have a huge team when it comes to drivers, but when it comes to like who's running the business, it's my partner and I. So by the end of the year, we're going to have somebody. I'm already working on making sure that the SOPs are in place. Because I feel like that was the missing piece. I didn't want to bring somebody on and just kind of have them wing it.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's really good. I can definitely relate to that. Okay, cool. So tell me, what has been your biggest, I wouldn't say healing opportunity, but more so personal and professional development opportunity while building specifically car hops?
Trying to take on all of the, carry all the weight. So can I be completely transparent on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can.
No, because so there's been some things, some healing sessions, and not even so. People think that a lot of the times healing comes through maybe church or through counseling,
right?
And, all of that. So I've been, and this is probably the first. Actually, no, this is the first time I've ever said this on anything. I've been doing type of like a mushroom therapy, right? And so I will take
microdosing.
No. No. I will actually go in and take a full dose.
Oh, okay.
And I find that through that, I'm able to let go of some things that no longer serves me, right?
Okay.
And it's the most amazing thing. Now, I won't ever recommend anybody do it. You kind of have to just follow your heart and do, research and make sure that it is for you. But I will say, coming from my grandmother is a pastor. Okay, she's still living, so she's a pastor.
Yeah.
And I lived with her when my mom would have to go like overseas or whatever. So I think, did you say you traveled with your dad when he went overseas?
Sometimes, and sometimes he would go and I would be with my mom.
Right.
Yeah.
So when my mom would have to go and training and stuff like that, I would go stay with my grandmother.
Okay.
And it was such a heavy, and I don't have anything, against religion or Christianity or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it made me start judging people, judging myself, and then feeling very small because I didn't feel like I was good enough, right? I'm always looking for the flaw. I'm always looking for the, ways to improve, and just not being transparent with myself and not really just allowing myself to be me, right? And I've tried several different things, and, I came across mushroom therapy, and it was the one thing that have changed my life. Like the confidence that I have now.
Wow. Do you get like awakenings and stuff?
Baby.
I'm only asking because a very, very, very close family member has tapped into that, and they just talk about all the different things. So it's interesting that you're sharing that.
Yeah, and it's actually very interesting because last night was my most recent session.
Okay.
And I probably didn't go to. I actually didn't go to bed this morning until like 6:00 this morning. But the things that I needed to take myself to the next level, I'm ready.
Wow, we might have to have a part 2 about that, y'all. Now, this might be a silly question. Is it legal? It's not legal, right? We're about to go to jail, y'all.
Well, no. So in Georgia, it's not legal. In other places, so nobody's who knows,
right.
Can. But yeah, so no, in Georgia, it's not legal. It should be.
Yeah.
But it should be. It's kind of just like marijuana or anything else. Like if it's used properly,
not abused,
right?
Gotcha.
And I get it from the source who actually grows it. It's not somebody who's just on the street. So just make sure that it is something that you take precautions in, and don't just go out there and just blindly.
Yes. So basically what I'm hearing is you found a way for you to just release and be more in alignment with who you are, what you want, and what you're creating. And it has shedded a lot of that perfectionism and judgment and ego. And I mean, honestly, when I even say those words, it's like, that's stress. That's pressure.
And you wear it. You wear it in your body.
And it comes out in different ways. It comes out, I call it drug, sex, rock and roll. It comes out in mental health. It comes out in irritability, the whole 9. So, I don't judge. So I'm excited for you because what I'm seeing you calm, at peace. You went to bed at 6 a.m. and you're not even all, because I need my sleep, right? But
yeah, but you know what? I don't know. I have this newfound freedom that I needed to get to do the things that I'm getting ready to go into doing. So I'm excited right now. I think I could be up a whole nother 2 nights.
That's so awesome. I love that for you. So do me a favor. I want you to look this person in the camera. Somebody's watching right now and they're inspired. They may want to open up an event space. They may want to be a coach. They may want to start their own food delivery. They may want to leave corporate. They may want to leave a job and switch to something else. What would you tell that person who literally has dreams, aspirations, but they're scared to take a leap?
Well, I want to know first, I always ask this question. Why do you want to do what it is that you want to do, right?
What's your why? I got you.
Right. But it's a little bit more because now that we have social media, we're always looking to our left and our right and up and down. And we can get things look exciting, right?
They do.
Because nobody's showing the ugly side. And even the people that said they're showing the ugly side, it's not really the ugly side.
At all. It's still filtered.
I never showed when I was sleeping so we had an office in Thomaston about this size. We turned one of the sub rooms that you have in here into a bedroom. And it had a little kitchenette area in there. And so I never showed that I was sleeping in my office for a year. But again, I wanted it as bad as I wanted to breathe.
Gotcha.
And I promise y'all, if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, shout out to Eric Thomas. Didn't know he said it like that, but hey, it's my brother.
You didn't know he said that?
I didn't know he said it like that. No.
What? No. That's literally what blew him up.
But I can imagine though, because everything he said.
But that's alignment.
Such conviction.
That's alignment,
right?
Yeah.
But when you do, it's like a fish out of water. Like, good God, you're gonna do everything you can to get back into that water.
Amen.
And and I actually heard you say on one of your episodes, it's like, what happens when your mother tells you? I think you even shared this story how your mother was like, girl, you gonna leave a $70,000 job to go do this?
She did.
But look at you now, right? But it still wasn't an overnight success story, I'm sure.
At all. And I've been gone from corporate for 2 years now. And overall, I'm running my business for like 5. But I'm still a newbie, in my opinion, because every day is a learning opportunity.
But I also will say, too, is if you try and you need to go back to corporate, by all means, baby, it is not a failure.
It ain't going nowhere.
It is not a failure.
It's not a failure. And guess what? this is the thing. I've been on LinkedIn looking for consulting opportunities. That means going back to corporate, but it's in the
figures. I mean, when you
but this is the thing. It's in the realm that I want to be in, flexibility, and I only am able to be qualified because I left and ran several businesses and taught other people how to. So I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people think that if they leave corporate and have to go back, it's a failure.
Oh, it's not.
Which is false.
And don't even wear that badge. It's not even a badge of shame. Don't even I wish somebody would tell me, unless you're paying my bills.
Period.
Unless you are giving me peace.
Okay.
And let I wish somebody would tell me what is right and what is wrong and what is the failure in my life.
Yeah.
Girl, I have failed, but you know what? But I always say though too, fail fast. And people, you've heard that many a times.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's so true. If I told you everything that I've tried to start and stopped and started and stopped and failed and made mistakes and all that, just do it fast because you learn and that's how you get confidence.
Exactly. Speaking of confidence, commercial break. I'm literally having a confidence camp here.
Okay.
Yep. September 9th and 10th here at Pop-Up and Create. 2 days, y'all. 2-day confidence camp. It's going to be freaking crazy. Think of wellness retreat, business building, and y'all events and fix my life.
Can we bring our...
That's what it's going to be.
Can we bring our mattress, our blow-up mattresses and just lay?
Y'all sure can.
Okay, good.
Just take it with you when y'all leave. No, I'm actually suggesting that people stay at the hotel across the street because that way it's more of like, it's not inclusive, but you literally could just walk over. Because once you go home and do all the things and you be in traffic... No, decompress. You deserve 2 days to unplug, decompress, pour back into yourself. So confidence camp, make sure you guys check it out. Link below. So did you finish what you were telling that person who's kind of scared? Yeah. You asked them what is their why, but what feedback would you give them to push through?
Well, again, I mean, I feel like that's the only feedback you need because once you have determined that and once you have figured out that this is what you want and you're going to have it at all costs, like, that means at all costs. That means, will you sleep out of your car? Will you, have your kids go stay with your mom until you get, like, there's certain things that you have to do and your pride, you have to let your pride go.
Ooh, you got to crush your pride.
And I'm a big pride person. I was. I didn't like to ask for things.
Yeah.
So.
Me too.
Right. So once you get over your own self and get out of your way and overcome your pride. Yeah, I feel like you'll be able to.
Because I always say it's not even about us, and honestly, imposter syndrome and perfectionism, that's ego. Because if you really think about it, if it's not about you, it's for everybody else. You wouldn't be worried about what you look like, who gonna be there, is my lashes on, is my wig right, I can't go live because I ain't got no makeup on. It's not for you, it's for who you're serving. So my feedback would be to do it scared, do it ugly, and just do it because you're not going to know what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be modified until you do it and bump your head and scrape your leg and figure it out. And you might not even know your why, but that's going to lead you to understanding and knowing what your why is.
Absolutely.
Right? So I would say just try different stuff. And a lot of these gurus say, what's your niche? Focus on one thing. Well, guess what? I'm multifaceted. I can't focus on one thing.
I was about to say.
I just can't. Right. And honestly, let me take that back. I don't want to.
And that.
But what I've learned is by me not obliging to what they're saying and doing all the things, I'm still in alignment because it all comes down to confidence, mental health, mindset, and clarity and confidence on everything that I do.
Right.
So even if I have an event space, this event space helps others to build their confidence, network, build their business, right?
So prior to us starting, you were like, girl, go create content. Yep. And I'm telling you, there was a time in my life that I would have just sat there and waited on the show to start.
Not around here, boo-boo.
Right. And I'm so thankful because I was here a few weeks ago with Allegra and the ladies in Atlanta.
Shout out to the WIN community.
Yes, the WIN community. And I continued to grow in confidence.
Yeah.
That day, just being around other ladies, being around other ladies, and we were helping each other to shoot content. And I'm telling you, that's the one thing that I can definitely grow in.
Yeah,
is if you look on my personal page, I rarely share myself because I'm a private person. But I'm learning to be able to share what I want to share.
Yeah.
So that people can, start to feel like they know me.
And you have a podcast. Has it launched yet?
Yes. Yeah. We launched in January, and I have a co-host. We both are business strategists. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are.
So, because I hear you saying you're a private person, but honestly, this is one of the best podcast conversations I've had because it was very natural, very fluid. And you were very vulnerable sharing some personal things.
Because you know what? And then maybe it was last night, but I'm at the point now, and I don't know if I can cuss, but I just don't give a damn anymore, know? And who, say what you will. I just don't care.
I love that for you. Mm-hmm. So let everybody know where they can find you at and how they can tap into what you are providing for the community.
Yes. So I want you first to go follow my food delivery page, which is Car Hops Delivery. That's Car Hops with an S at the end, delivery, on all things social. You can also check us out at carhopsdelivery.com and download the app. And then the other place that I want you to check us out is the podcast. It's called The Convene Team. Oh. And so we are at The Convene Team on every platform out there. If you're a podcast, or if you're an Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, any of those places. Perfect. That is where you're going to find us. So
awesome.
Like I said, we just actually this month we will have our first 2 guests on the show, mm-hmm. and then we're just going to do guests like every month. So I'm definitely going to have you on.
I cannot wait. Mm-hmm. So guys, thank you so much for checking out the Healing While Building series on the Accountability on Demand podcast. If you are thinking about starting a podcast, starting a business, launching something, definitely connect with me. You can DM the word breakthrough on Instagram and book a complimentary clarity call so you can get out of your own way and start. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye, guys.